My wife and I moved into the house on Creller Street in late October. The kind of move you make when rent elsewhere becomes impossible and sentiment becomes a luxury. The house was cheap. We told ourselves it was because of the neighborhood, the dated fixtures, the single-car garage. We were wrong about why it was cheap. The first knock came on a Thursday. I remembered the exact time because I'd been lying awake, watching the ceiling fan wobble slightly off axis, when my phone screen lit up with 3:13 a.m. on it. Sarah was asleep beside me, her breathing slow and nautical. The knock was at the front door, 3 slow, deliberate raps, the kind that have patience behind them, the kind that aren't nervous. I did what any sensible person would do. I didn't move. I told myself it was a drunk stumbling up the wrong porch. It was October. People do that. I closed my eyes. The knock didn't come again. In the morning, I mentioned it to Sarah over coffee. She set her mug down and looked at me in a way I hadn't seen before. Not quite fear, more like the expression of someone confirming a suspicion they'd hoped would never be confirmed. Last Wednesday, I didn't want to say anything. We laughed it off eventually. Old house, pipes, raccoons on the porch, settling timber. There is an entire vocabulary humans have, developed for explaining away the things they don't want to believe, and we were fluent in all of it. The second knock came the following Thursday, 3:13 a.m. This time, I got up. The hallway felt longer in the dark than it did during the day. I stood at the top of the stairs looking down, and it seemed like more steps than there should have been. I went down anyway. I turned on the porch light and looked through the peephole. The street was empty. The porch was empty. The sodium lamp across the road hummed its orange hum over nothing. But the doormat, our welcome mat, the one Sarah had bought with little autumn leaves printed on it, had been moved. It was sitting at an angle, no longer flush with the door. Someone had been standing on it. Someone had shifted their weight. I didn't sleep again that night. I did something I'm embarrassed about. I posted about it on Reddit, on RN No Sleep, framed as a creative writing exercise. I described the knocking, the mat, the time. Within 6 hours, I had 300 comments. But one message came through privately. Move the mat back. Leave something on the porch that belonged to the previous occupant. Don't answer on the third Thursday. It wants to be invited. I showed Sarah. She asked who lived there before us. We didn't know. And when he did, he said only that the last tenant had moved out suddenly and had left some personal effects in the basement crawl space. We went down there that same night. There wasn't much. A cardboard box, soft with moisture, containing a child's shoe. Just one. A birthday card signed, "Love Always," Mom, and addressed to someone named Daniel, and a spiral notebook. Most of the notebook was water damaged to illegibility. It said, "I tried to tell it I wasn't who it was looking for. It doesn't listen. It doesn't hear you. It only counts. 3 Thursdays. You have to be gone by the 3rd. This was the second Thursday. We had until the following week. I want to tell you we left immediately. We talked about it. We made plans. But real fear, the kind that has no visible source. We stayed. The 3rd Thursday. Sarah went to her sister's. I insisted. I stayed because I needed to know. Some part of me needed to look directly at the thing, rather than flee from the outline of it. I sat in the front room with the lights off at 3 a.m. I had my phone fully charged. I had the front door unlocked deliberately. 3:13. 3 knocks. Slow, certain, patient. I opened the door. There was a man on the porch. He was average height, wearing a gray jacket. And when I say there was nothing remarkable about his face, I mean that quite literally. My brain refused to fully render it. I can remember the jacket. I cannot tell you the color of his eyes, the shape of his nose. He looked at me for a long moment. "Is Daniel home?" he asked. His voice was completely ordinary. "No," I said. "There's no Daniel here." He nodded. He looked past me into the hallway. "He was here," the man said. "The previous tenant," I said. "He doesn't live here anymore." Another long pause. He looked down at the welcome mat with its autumn leaves. He looked back up at me. "He owes me something," the man said. "I don't know how to help you with that." "No," he agreed. "You don't." He stepped back off the porch. He walked down the front path. He reached the sidewalk, turned left, and walked until the dark swallowed him. One moment he was there. The next he simply wasn't. I went inside. I locked the door. I sat on the kitchen floor for a while. In the morning, I called Gus and told him we were breaking the lease. He didn't push back at all. That told me more than any notebook could. We found Daniel eventually, by accident, a name in a local forum. Someone asking if anyone knew what happened to a guy who'd lived on Creller Street. We reached out. He took a week to respond. "Don't go back," he wrote. "It found out you're not me. That doesn't mean it's done with the address. That doesn't mean it forgets. It just means it adjusts what it's looking for." I asked him what he owed the man. He never replied. We've been in our new apartment for 4 months now. I don't post much about it because I don't know how to end the story. I don't know if it ends. We're on a different street, a 4th floor unit. No porch, no mat, and I've told Sarah we don't need one. Last Thursday, I woke up at 3:12 a.m. for no reason I can name. I lay in the dark and watched the minute change on my phone and listened to the buildings settle around us. Silence. I'm telling myself that's enough. If you've had something similar happen, not the knocking specifically, but the feeling that something is calibrating, adjusting, learning the shape of your absence, my DMs are open. I don't think I'm alone in this. I'm not sure if that's comforting.